Dr. Saru Prasad Ghosh. We would like also to invite Rector of Dwijendra University, representative of Ganesha University of Education, representative of Bali State Polytechnic, and chairperson of Indonesian Hindu Scholars Association to join us on the stage. For this session, the first MOU signing between Makayas and Bali State Polytechnic. Once again, for the first one, MOU signing between Makayas and Bali State Polytechnic. Please proceed. Photographers and audience members are welcome to take photo of this MOU signing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next, we will continue with MOU signing between Makayas and Dwijendra University. Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause for the MOU signing between Makayas and Dwijendra University. Thank you. We will now invite the next one for MOU signing between Makayas and Indonesian Hindu Scholars Association. Thank you very much. We would like now to invite the MOU signing between Makayas and Ganesha University of Education. Please proceed to the stage. Let's give a big round of applause for the MOU signing between Makayas and Ganesha University of Education. Thank you. May I invite all our distinguished guests to have a group photo together for the MOU signing of this session. Untuk rekan-rekan fotografer, apakah posisinya sudah bagus atau kita pindahkan ke depan meja? We would like to invite you to kindly step forward in front of the table. Allow me to guide the session for the photo. On my count of 3, okay, photographers are ready for the group photo. On my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. And congratulations. Let's give a big round of applause for the MOU signing of this session. Our next MOU signing, we would like to invite to the stage Sri Arinda Mukherjee, Director of ISCS. The next MOU signing between ISCS and Indonesian Hindu Scholars Association, followed by MOU signing between ISCS and Dwi Jendra University and MOU signing between ISCS and Ganesha University of Education. May I now invite for the MOU signing between ISCS and Indonesian Hindu Scholars Association. Thank you, and let's give applause for the MOU signing between ISCS and Indonesian Hindu Scholars Association. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to proceed with MOU signing between ISCS and Dwi Jendra University. May I invite from Dwi Jendra University? Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause for the MOU signing between ISCS and Dwi Jendra University. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite for the MOU signing between ISCS and Ganesha University of Education. Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause for the MOU signing between ISCS and Ganesha University of Education. I invite all of you to have a group photo. On my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much and congratulations for the MOU signing. Thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We will now proceed to the second parallel session. As what we have organized in parallel session 1, the next parallel session, which is the parallel session 2, will also be divided into 2 rooms. So this one, our main hall, you can choose if you want to join parallel session 2A with the topic Rhythmic Dialogues Exploring Dance, Music and Theater Traditions of India and Indonesia, which will be conducted in this hall. And parallel session 2B with the topic Modern Mirrors, Reflecting on Indonesia-India Cultural Exchanges in the Modern Era, which will be conducted in Wantilan 2 Hall. The speaker for parallel session 2B, which will be conducted in Wantilan 2 Hall, the chair would be Professor Dr. Gede Sedana. Speakers, the first one, Aparna Bhatnagar Saxena. Second speaker, Mr. Franky Raden, PhD. The third speaker, Dr. Satish Misra. Fourth speaker, Swami Sastra Janananda Maharaj. So for those of you who would prefer to join the second parallel session 2B, we invite you to proceed to Wantilan 2 Hall. And those of you who would like to join parallel session 2A, you may remain in this hall. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, berikutnya adalah parallel session kedua. Bapak Ibu yang memilih parallel session kedua dengan topik Rhythmic Dialogues Exploring Dance, Music and Theater Tradition of India and Indonesia. Bapak Ibu silakan tetap berada di ruangan ini. Dan Bapak Ibu yang memilih parallel session 2B dengan topik Modern Mirrors, Reflecting on India-Indonesia Cultural Exchanges in the Modern Era. Bapak Ibu kami persilahkan menuju ruang Wantilan 2. Terima kasih. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to choose your preference, whether you want to join parallel session in this hall, or if you would like to join parallel session 2B, which will be conducted in Wantilan 2 Hall. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to parallel session 2A with the topic Rhythmic Dialogues Exploring Dance, Music and Theater Traditions of India and Indonesia. In this session, we will delve into the rich tapestry of dance, music and theater traditions that bind India and Indonesia together. May I invite the chair for the session? Join me in welcoming Professor Nyoman Sedana, PhD. Professor Nyoman Sedana is an artist and professor at the Indonesian Arts Institute Denpasar since 2006. He serves as the director of the Bali module for international students and the head of Papadi Bali. May I also invite the first speaker for this session, Professor Dr. Imade Bandem, Curator of Bali Arts Festival. Professor Dr. Imade Bandem is a distinguished figure in Bali's arts community, celebrated for his contributions to dance, music, and theater. Our next speaker is Professor Iwayan Dibia, Padma Shri Awardee and founder of Geox Art Space. Professor Iwayan Dibia is a distinguished artist and scholar specializing in Balinese performing arts. Our next speaker, may I invite Ms. Anita Bos, author, researcher, and artist. She is a distinguished author, researcher, editor, speaker, educator, and also artist. I would like to hand it over to the chair. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a big round of applause to our distinguished chair and also our honorable speakers. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to this session. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Namaskar, Namaste. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam kebajikan, salam sehat, sejahtera. Semoga bahagia selalu buat kita semua. I'm very happy to be selected as the moderator for the session. Thank you. We have very limited time. Yeah, all of us already know. So I hope I will take no more than 10 minutes because more time I would like to give to my senior, like Professor Iwayan Dibia, the most prolific choreographer in Bali until he got a word from the President of India, Sri Padma, and my next director also Professor Bandam, who has extensive experiences as a tour leader throughout many countries. So I think I will give more time to him. And then the multifaceted artist scholar, yeah. So I think that one is, that is I would like to share first. So why we are here? Because we want to learn wisdom from the ancient time. So this is cultural heritage that we need to learn in the hope to be able to create a better cultural tapestry for our time. So when we are faced into global conflict everywhere in the world, so then we need now to find a solution. So in my way, where we can find a solution? Nothing other than the ancient wisdom. So when you see, this is the reason, the significance of the wayang puppetry, because wayang puppetry is able to record, to formulate, and to activate the bad spirit and the good spirit, the virtue and the evil. Say for example, Sadripu. We believe everyone had Sadripu in ourselves. Therefore, we face multiple conflict everywhere. Yeah. And if we learn now science, we are able to make superpower weapons. It does not help the humanity. Yeah. Then we have to learn from the other side. Look from the side. Sadguna as opposed to Sadripu. As I mentioned over there, the wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Where we can learn it? From the ancient wisdom, not from the current our situation. As far as I am being educated for 8 years in the United States, I don't find such wisdom other than finding wisdom from the ancient time, which is like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Sutta Soma. For example, let me take one of my puppets.
Please be informed we have until 4:15 for the session. Thank you.
So, for example, what I can learn from the ancient time, now I give you the conceptual framework, how to transform the global conflict into peace and harmony. Look, this is Sutasoma. Satya Rata Diksa, Satya Rata Diksa, Tapa Brahman Yadnya, Tapa Brahman Yadnya, Satya Dharma Bhakti, Ahimsa Santi. The super objective is Santi, peace, harmony. How? Transform the global conflict into peace and harmony. I have conceptual framework how to transform the global conflict into peace and harmony based on our traditional ancient wisdom. That is, let me repeat once again. Satya, Dharma, Bhakti, Ahimsa, Santi. Satya, Rata, Diksa, Tapa, Brahman, Yadnya. When you end at Yadnya, meaning for national order, Jagat Kirti. When you conclude with Santi, that's humanity. Satya, Rata, Diksa, Tapa, Brahman, Yadnya. That's for national order. Must be Yadnya. So if you're rich, you have to contribute a lot more. If you have little, you contribute little. That's how we have to live. Not to kill just because I'm more powerful than you. I kill you because I have a weapon. No, that is not right. Satya, Dharma, Bhakti, Ahimsa, Santi. I think I don't have to translate it. What is Satya, Dharma, Bhakti, Ahimsa, Santi? I don't have to translate it because many people here already are very good scholars, even better than me. So things like that. Look, as opposed of the left character, for example, the puppeteer has to use big voice, as big as possible. Must be arrogant, macho, in order to show the dasa malo. Bedang sarati sayo, kataro, hanyo. So very, and including musician also very hectic. And the chapalo, the right foot of the dalang, block, like that. Bedang sarati sayo, kataro, hanyo. Tunas kawan bujo pada pupumuang ako buato di raksasa sahur. That is how the dasa malo itself, the badness. So my son and me, we have been performing wayang shadow puppet in 6 different cities in India, including Guwahati, Impal, Dimapur, Agartala, not only New Delhi, it's like that one. So that's how we travel with our art. So, of all conceptual framework, I can guarantee only wayang puppetry, as far as now, have a conceptual framework how to transform the global conflict into peace and harmony that I mentioned a while ago. And you can translate it what I said, Satya, Rata. Rata, for example, the sacred doctrine of the universal harmony. So whoever dare to infringe, to violate the Rata, sacred doctrine of the universal harmony, sooner or later, even if they are powerful, they will be punished by the God according to, because wayang puppet itself is not only record, but also formulate and activate that one. That's why I request the Consulate General of India to please perform shadow puppet. I can guarantee you only in wayang shadow puppet you can fully see the activation. So will you have my student to perform for you? Yes, thank you. I think I don't have to. This is you can see it. I don't have to explain it because I already share my PowerPoint presentation instead of me talking a lot. If I talk about wayang puppet, can be 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours only me myself. Therefore, let's move on to our. Okay. I'm happy to, because my house is nearby right here in Denpasar Timur Kasiman. You can come or go to my office and my campus, Indonesian Art Institute in Denpasar. So I don't have to read that one. So we are happy to share our performance. For the Consulate General of India, I can give it for free. So let's move on to our next panelist, which is Professor Bandam. With his recommendation, allow me to study in America, 8 years. Thank you, Pak. Only one single letter, Asian Cultural Council and Asian Asian Cultural Council, yes. Give me scholarship, not only myself, my wife and my children, including the medical insurance. Thank you very much, Pak. And so he will be talking a lot. He was the tour leader many, how many times you go to Japan, Pak? More than 10, yeah? Okay, the next one also, my senior professor, Professor Dibyo. No, I have to say Sri Padma Professor Wayan Dibyo because he has got a name Sri Padma from where, Pak? So the word must be very big, but he never give me it. Okay, so look, when the inception of Bali Art Festival, now 46 Bali Art Festival, this Professor Dibyo was the single choreographer from Balakana, Ayodhyakana, Aranyakana, Kanda Adi Udara, Uttarakanda, Yudakanda. This is the people who create a lot of dance. This one, stand up, Manu Rawo. So that's why, so we are happy to have this one. Thank you for inviting my senior. And then we have a multi-faced artists and scholars, whatever, everything. So let me formulate like that here. If we start from that one, that is the Tantra, the spiritual norm, because he is going to talk about Saraswati, right? Yes, that is the spiritual norm. Okay, now about the Yantra. The Yantra by Professor Dibyo, because Professor Dibyo can present it. And then the Mudra, and because Professor Bandam is going to talk about the Kalinga Bali Yatra, meaning the historical connections and cultural art development. So I better you to talk, Pak. Is that okay? So go ahead then. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy to talk more later on if you want. Silakan, Pak. Terima kasih. Ya.
Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semuanya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Imade Bandem. Got two beautiful chants. I was a artistic director of two Bali Yatra Festival. One in Bali in 1993. Together with Mr. Biju Patnaik and his team from Orissa. And the second one in 1995, I was asked to lead the group from Bali to perform in Orissa for about 2 weeks during the Bali Arts Festival in Orissa. The title of my paper today, it is India Bali Yatra Festival, fostering collaboration between Indian and Balinese dance tradition. Abstract of my paper is very simple. I'm seeking similarities between Balinese dance and Indian dancing through performances that they perform during Bali Yatra Festival. During that time, they perform, of course, Kathakali, Bharatanatyam, Chao, and Kuchipudi. What is Bali Yatra? Bali Yatra literally means a voyage to Bali. The festival is held in Orissa in the city of Cuttack at Gadagadia Gata of the Manadi River to mark the day when ancient Sadabas Oria mariners would set sail to Indonesia or Bali. On that time they called Jawa Dwipa, including Bali, for trade and cultural expansion, actually. They sailed in a large vessel called boitas. Currently, the festival is held every Purnama Kartika, month of November. People float toy boats made of colorful papers, dried bananas, tree barks, and chalk to commemorate the voyage of their ancestor to Bali. The toy boats launched after sunset contain small of lamps which are lit and placed on the river. Next slide. Please pay attention. The women who played the gong, hit the gong, was Minister of Social Welfare of Indonesia, a scholar in in Indian history and archaeology. She is Arati Subadyo. And the second one after her, that is Biju Patnaik, the Prime Minister of Odisha. And after that one will be Governor Bali, Ida Bagasoko. And the last one was me, joining them to inaugurate the festival in Benoit and in Denpasar. This festival got a little difficulties to get the permission from the government of Indonesia, because Department of Information of Indonesia did not understand the meaning of this festival until later on the historian of Arati Subadyo met the President Suharto explaining this is the real history. In 1949, President Nehru sent Mr. Biju Patnaik as a pilot, and his wife was co-pilot, to hand a letter to Sukarno and Hatta in Yogyakarta that government of India, President Nehru supported the independence of Indonesia. And then after that one, we got permission from Mr. Suharto for having this Bali Yatra festival in 1993. Okay, next slide will be sample of ship and boat of the Borobudur temple on the 8th century. Maybe this is type of boats, boitas, sometime coming from India to Indonesia, because this is we found in the Borobudur temple. And then later on, we will see, please, next slide, please. This is all types of spices, cloves, nutmeg, pepper, turmeric, ginger ale, chili, etc. We were so rich about this in Java, Bali, and Moluccas, and other islands in Indonesia. Therefore, the people coming here for trade of the spices. Okay, next one, that is Hindu religion comes to Indonesia about 1st century. Syed Agasya and Wiku Markandeya credited to bring Hindu religion to Bali. Many lontars, many books mention about their rule, about developing of the Hindu religion, that is Siddhanta. Hindu people came to Java Dwipa, connected to the spices trade. As I mentioned, people founded Harbor Julah in North Bali, near Sembiran, between Bali and Borneo. Somebody has mentioned this morning already, Arlika and Bellwood discovered archaeological evidence that Garabah, earthenwares, vessel, beads from Ari Kamadu from India itself. Okay, next, this is the Prasasti Kutai. 4th century, we found the kingdom of Kutai with Mula Warman, Kundunga Mula Warman in Borneo. And next one, this is Prasasti Tarumanegara, kingdom of West Java. This is a very strong king. He made 12 kilometers of rivers from Tugu to the ocean of Jakarta. Next one, we will see the Borobudur temple from 7th to 8th century AD, created by King Sailendra Wamsa. There will be structure of Triangga, Datu, Rupa Datu, Arupa Datu. This is in South Central Java. Next one will be relief, musician, and dancer from Borobudur, Konax temple in Orissa. So we begin to understand here, we have influence from India about performing art that we found in this Borobudur temple. No human being was dancing. They were mostly Apsara and Apsari. Next one is Prambanan temple in Central Java also in the 9th century. Here I would like to give a remark. So since here, we discovered, they written about Ramayana story, and we have a beginning of influence of Indian tradition into performing arts and music through the theme of Ramayana and later on Mahabharata. Because before this one, Balinese, Javanese, it has their own indigenous culture, involved trance, involved movement of nature, and folk song and oral tradition. But since here, we have Ramayana and Mahabharata influence, dramatic content, dramatic structure influencing Indonesian and Balinese performances. The idea of meeting scene, love scene, sad scene, war and everything is all coming from this one. And next one, this is Ramayana relief, best relief in Prambanan, you will see that Rama killed the deer, transformation of Maricha in the Ramayana. Okay, next one. This was another one, Arawana with his Wilmana, an escort, attacked by Jatayu. Jatayu was killed. And the other one will be Rama kill giant Kabanda. Next one will be power moving from Central Java into East Java in the Penataran Temple. We find also Ramayana reliefs over here. Let's see the identity of the tractor in this case. Next one, Hanuman attacked Alangkapura. So this is the typical identity and prototype of Balinese Wayang Kulit today. Next one, this is the sculpture in Bali that we found. Sons of Budayana, known as Anak Bungsu and his wife, Dewi Mandul. So we see the iconography, iconometry may be different than iconometry of the statue in India, but they based on their own aesthetic. We will see some of this iconography will influence the Balinese costume in the performing art in this case. Next one, wayang paintings of Kamasan. This is about 15th to 16th century. There's a relationship between this painting of Kamasan with scroll puppet in India. Next one, yeah, this is probably a later scroll puppet painting. The theme is love between Krishna, Radha, and Nanda. Next one, well, Balinese Wayang Kulit. This is a meeting between Hanuman, Rama, and Lakshmana. Next one will be Sivanataraja. The Balinese Sivanataraja having different attribute, more like a Saraswati attribute. It's having Vina, it's having Pustaka Lontar, Genitri, as another also drum in this case. Okay, next one, Sivanataraja dance created by my wife Swasti and performed for the Bali Yatra festival during that time. Next one will be Sivanataraja from Kerala, from South India. This is very famous master dancer Bala Saraswati. We worked together for a few years in America, and she was teaching me a little bit about vocabulary and history of Bharata Natya. And then she said, Ba mean bawa, expression, and Ta mean tala, and then later on they have tala mean tala, and then also she told us this is a combination between music and dance itself.
Time.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have any much time. This is Sonal Mansing, good friend also. And later on, let's see. My conclusion will be like this. Since the time is very short, I got the idea of this one. Of course, let's see first. Mudra Samjes or conclusion. Okay, there's a similarities between Indian dancing through different position. Only in the world, 3 dancers having position knees turn out. And bending also the position mostly toward the earth in this case. No jumping. Yeah, not much jumping like maybe Mantawayan dance itself. Okay, we have also eyes expression. Yeah, eyes expression in India more complete because it has a reference to Nasta Sastra, but in Bali they more making it more freer, more aesthetic concept from the Balinese. The Sledet, eyes movement for flirtation, and Shern will be more emphasized in this case. Also we have headdresses like headgears, and then also another gelangkano, kankano, and so on. Also, all different positions that we have, the same similar like what we find in Central Java, Prambanan. Go ahead. And then, of course, yeah, we would like to summarize in this case that the similarities between Indian and Balinese dancing, we actually share values together. It's not really only Ramayana and Mahabharata and all different vocabulary movement and music and so on, but the most important thing is that we share values known as Triwisesa Yoga. Triwisesa Yoga mean holy, truth and aesthetic. That's what we had in Bali, based on our Hindu religion in this case. No beauty without truth and holy. No holy without truth and then aesthetic in this case. In the future, I think that's what we preserve. Yeah, we can continue with many festival, with many seminar or all discussion, and someday we might be able to do this in more modern technology.
thank you.
Because I have experience 2 years ago creating AI on Balinese dancing, and we formed this in Paris. We sold it for about 90,000 US, 90,000 euro in this case. If we can preserve this one for the future generation, I think will be great for us to making experiment in new technology, modern technology that we call LI 1.0, 4.8. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right, thank you. Professor Bandam has been presenting kind of historical connection through Kalinga Bali Yatra, and at the same time developing the cultural tapestry. And then now, how about the contemporary artistic expression best presented by Professor Sri Padma, Professor Dr. Wayan Dibyo. Yes, now his name is Sri Padma, since he received that from New Delhi. Please, Pak, we move on to your presentation. This Professor Dibyo is the most prolific choreographer. Tari Manuk Rawo, Tarwiro, you have composed many dance. So this is the person. Time's all for you, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good afternoon, everyone, for being here. And I hope many of you still awake, because this is the most difficult time for us to deal. Before I begin, I would like to thank the Consulate General of India in Bali for having me participate in this very special conference. I would like to begin with my experience when I was in Colorado in 1989. I came across to a large production entitled Bali Agung. And I was so anxious to see this kind of production. And I went there hoping to see something original, authentic. But when I came across to the theater, I was so disappointed with the cultural appropriation in the production. So with that in mind, I would like to relate the topic that I am presenting here, which is creating new works by utilizing or exploring classical Balinese and Indian dances. Since 1976, I already involved in international collaborations. It was with Balinese groups and rock music in Germany. And it was a very challenging experience for me, because at the time, I was still young and having no experience of collaboration, but only later I began to learn how to work mutually with mutual respect to avoid the misuse of cultural elements of other cultures. So for this topic, I would like to mention about 3 works that I've been done from the 2016 to 2022. The first one was Pralaya. The second one is the Cry of Sita, and the third one is the Arisi Rise. Pralaya is a form of dance theater based on Mahabharata, the dice game between Pandawa and Kaurawa, and it was produced in Toronto, combining Balinese classical dance and Bharatanatyam. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So when we look at the Pralaya, the choreography is by myself and Latapada from Toronto, and then we combine classical and classical Balinese dance and Bharatanatyam. And what we did at the time was basically blending Balinese and Bharatanatyam dances. With blending, I have to do some kind of adjustment on both sides, on the Indian side and the Balinese side. So modification that I did at the time was how to freeze Balinese free hands to match the frozen mudra operated in Bharatanatyam. It was not an easy thing to do, but I managed to bridge the two dances into become a blending kind of movement. It becomes 75 minutes of dance theater with Mahabharata story. And in terms of music, it was accompanied by a mix of Balinese music and Indian music. It was also the costume, also mixing Indian design and Balinese design. You can see the detail there. And these are two pictures of the Pralaya. So the one on the right is the dialogue between Vyasa and Ganesha when writing the story of Mahabharata. And the right one is the Ganesha invocation. So this kind of collaboration that I enjoyed very much because we share our concern, mutually giving respect to our both cultures. Next one. This one is the Cry of Sita. This is a contemporary kind of concepts. It's based on the story of Ramayana from the Sundarakanda and Yudhakanda. Again, in this piece, I basically defied the rule of the dance theater because in this dance theater, Sita still Odissi and the rest still Hanuman, Rama, Balinese. So we are not making any kind of adjustment, just put them together to tell the story together. So this is why I call it we defying the rule of the Ramayana, the Cry of Sita in this play. So the choreography is by myself with Pompey Paul, and you all know from the consulate, she was the teacher of Odissi dance. And the music was a combination of Indian music and Balinese. We record the music here in Bali and then send it to India, and they mix it there to make it a Balinese dance touch or elaborated with Indian music. And costume, basically, we use costume of Odissi and the costume of Balinese dance. Next slide, please. Yeah. The Cry of Sita was based on my books entitled Pengakuan Hanuman or the Confession of Hanuman. It's a compilation of poetry. And it was my friend from the Sastra, Dewa Sahadewa, pushed me, how about putting this on stage by combining elements of Indian dance and Balinese dance. And we tried, and it was quite interesting, at least in my eyes. And then we performed it in India. Just recently, we stayed in Siliguri, and it was well accepted. These are the pictures of the Cry of Sita. So on the left is Pompey Paul there doing Sita, and the right one is Hanuman. The Hanuman was me, and old Hanuman, not young Hanuman. And on the right is the next, back to, yeah. This is also the scenes of the meeting or unification of Rama and Sita attended by Hanuman. Next. This is the last. This is the third piece, Arisi and rice. This is about the story of rice culture. This piece was produced in Singapore and premiered at the Esplanade on 2022. And it was part of the collaboration between me and Arafin Kumarasamy and Mona Priyan Tawaraja from Apsara Dance Company. And the music, again, combination of Balinese, Indian, and Chinese music. The costume, this is one of the most unique kind of concept that we have here, because we have Indian style, but with using double ikat and Indian textile. So we designed in that way to make it simple, but it turned out very beautiful, beautiful costume. You will see later during the pictures here. So here we have a concept of weaving classical Balinese movement and Bharatnatyam. So by weaving, so we really have them still with their identity, but make them flowing together. So in the first one, I did the blending, mixing them really in a close way. But this one here, we weave them together. So there are time Balinese still doing Balinese. There's time the Indians doing the Bharatnatyam. So next slide. Here's one of the short versions of the Ganesha invocation. Can you play, please? How about the music? The sound?
Time is up.
Yeah.
Time.
Okay. Next one, just a little bit of the Arisi. So you can see the example of weaving between Balinese movement and Indian movement. Thank you. I would like to conclude by working collaboratively in the three projects. I want to prove that Balinese and Indian dance are not belong to two different worlds, but they are belong to two very connected cultures. So this also means that what people strongly believe, that Indian dance and Balinese dance cannot be combined, but I prove it different way. So these three works really prove that we have a lot in common. Just a matter of how we explore that. Mr. Bandam already explained 4 different identity that making our Balinese dance and Indian dance closely. So in this piece, I explore further to prove that both dances can be put into different kind of production as we want to explore more and deeper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Pak Yandibio. Let's move on to our third panelist, Anita Bose, who is a distinguished author, researcher, editor, speaker, educator, and artist with master in literature and additional studies in Indology. So if you're ready, Tanishwar, thank you.
Namaste, Namaskar, Shasti Astu, and I'm staying in Thailand, so I have to say Swadika. So, so Swadika and Namaste and Namaskar. So first of all, I have to show my gratitude and thanks to giving me this opportunity to the Council General and Ambassador Sir and the IICS. And today my presentation is little bit different. Whatever the dance, the singing, the art, the drama, everything is coming from Mother Saraswati. So the goddess of knowledge, goddess of river, and Saraswati Mahabhage Vidya Kamala Lochane, Vishwarupe Vidyarni Vidyandehi Namastute. So I do prayer to Mother Saraswati, and then I think my presentation is big, so I will tell like a story, so you can just move the presentation and I can say the story. So when I came here in 2017 first, in a university of the Denpasar University in the Hindu studies, there was a conference on the Hindu art of Southeast Asia. So I came on behalf of the Siamios Pafa, and that time I first saw that the Mother Goddess Saraswati inside the premise of the university, and that is the turning point of my life. Another that how that Saraswati is very close to our Indian culture, and especially from Rig Veda we have that the river goddess Saraswati, that the Ombitame, Noditame, and the Devitame Saraswati. So that Saraswati we are worshipped. We worshipped Saraswati as a mother goddess of knowledge, as the goddess of the wisdom, as the goddess of the also the warrior goddess. So from the Rig Veda to Markandeya Puran, Saraswati was everywhere. Until date, if you see to the Bengal, Bihar, Tripura, northeast part of India, eastern part of India, and the southern part of the India, we have Saraswati Puja once in a year. And I got very much similarity with, and this map, I don't go through this map because from the morning you all saw that map. I am the guide of National Museum Bangkok, so first Indian guide of National Museum Bangkok. So this is my pride. This map is a big map in National Museum Bangkok, and how it is not only that it is a shared culture of our Indian Ocean, and through Indian Ocean, that Southeast Asia and India, even up to the China, how it is coming and going. It's a, Rabindranath Tagore said that Dibe and Nibe, Milabe and Milibe. So it is like a adaptation and sharing. It's a both way. So India and Indonesia are very close to in many cultural way, many significant way. Our distinguished professors and other speakers from the morning, they are telling about that. So what is the iconography of Saraswati? What is the meaning of Saraswati in India? It is like a 4 hands. She holds the rosario, she holds the pustaka or the book, and then the one is the veena or a musical instrument, and another one is the kamal. Kamal is the lotus. And sometimes it is also the Ashirvad mudra. It's like a gesture of Ashirvad or the blessings. So this is the combination of, you can say that the intellectual resonating and the ability and imagination, because I believe it is that Mother Goddess Saraswati, it is not my belief, it is from the Vedas today, that we are talking, this is the power of speech. That is also known as the Bak. So that Bak is Saraswati. In India, Bak Devi is the Saraswati. So what we are talking, that power also coming from Mother Saraswati. And then the Saraswati as the river, as the biggest river, as one of the holiest river before, the Ganges is a very holiest, but Saraswati was once upon a time, it's the holiest river of India. And if you read Mahabharata and the Ramayana, you can see there are many holy places just beside the Saraswati river. And there are so many different type of Saraswati we got from the Gupta period, 4th century, 5th century, Hoysala period, and many Saraswati. So what is the temple? And there are many prayer of Saraswati. In the one very famous prayer is the Ved Vedango Vedanta Vidya Sthanebba Evacha, which means it is already almost cover all the type of knowledge. It is the knowledge of, and it's today the AI, that is also the one kind of knowledge, and which is also the part of that Mother Goddess Saraswati. So there are many temples in India. It is one of the temple in Rajasthan, Pushkar, another temple, the holiest and the most ancient knowledge temple of India is the Sarada Pit in Kashmir, which was re-established by Shankaracharya. And then the river, and another temple is the Bharat Bhumi in the Uttarakhand and in the Kerala also. So now this is the question that how Saraswati in Indonesian culture. Because I was so fortunate that in Ubud, the Mother Goddess Saraswati is so beautiful. I just got glimpses from the outside, but it was so beautiful. And in Balinese culture, that the Saraswati, sometime it is the etymologically means of Saraswati in Bali language. The sar means weapon, so is the line, and ti mean conduct. So somehow, if I take it from the Markandeya Purana, it is like the Tejaswini Saraswati Devi indicate a line of life along the positive path of human life. Shu and Ku, the evil and the good. So that is, you can define through the Saraswati, the knowledge of the Saraswati, to prayer to Saraswati. So Saraswati, the warrior goddess of the Vedas, who removed the darkness of the human life. So this is the thing. And here you can see the Balinese student, and it is a very same custom in India and Bali that we provide our books, and especially in Bali it is Lontar. Lontar, that's like our Bhagavad Gita, it is the Lontar, and every 210 days along that Saraswati Puja happened. And Aji Saraswati, or the Knowledge Day, is very famous in Bali. And I got many similarities with the Balinese culture and Indian culture, because both we are love painting, both we are love dancing, singing, and it is all related to the Mother Goddess Saraswati. So the adaptation of, I don't say that who got first or who got last, I am not going that, but this is the thing that this conference is the mainly, that how the Indian Ocean connected and spread each other rituals, each other connection, each other tradition. So I believe on that. And I went Surabaya in 2019, and this beautiful Saraswati from Surabaya, and I went that temple of the Jagat Karana temple, and I met the priest, and the same meaning of why we are doing Saraswati Puja and why you are doing, it is the same. So it is our shared culture, and somehow Saraswati is always connected with the water. So the uppers, the another meaning of the Saraswati is the upper is the jal, or we said the water, in Bengali it is jal. So the Saraswati is the source of abundance. And here it is very interesting that we are offering the same way, the way you are offering the books and the flowers and those things. And in a day of the Saraswati Day, I think it's most of the school and college students, they are wearing yellow clothes, and they go to the temple or go to the academic institution, you are doing puja or the worshipping. And people also take in Bali the bath of sea or lake or river, and drink traditional medicine. We have same rituals. We make something as very special vegetables for Saraswati Puja, which is like a medicine, because our Saraswati Puja happened on the Bashanta Kal. Bashanta means the spring. And the spring is the time of pox, the different type of, so there is a medicinal thing which is known as the gota in Bengali. So we take that medicinal food for prevent. So I just listen that Saraswati also healer. In Balinese culture, Saraswati is the healer. So Saraswati actually is the healer. And here you can see that we are also the Bengali student, Bengali woman, and the other part of the India also. They're wearing yellow dress. They celebrate the Saraswati Puja as the Bashant Panchami, or and in a yellow color. And all here you can see the India celebrate. This is the Punjab. The upper picture is the Punjab. They are also do the whole like the kite festival. We have made all the khichdi is the rice with dal, or I mean pulses. That is one yellow color food which are mainly go for the prasadam, as the prasadam. And here you can see that every Bengali family, most of them, they are doing Saraswati Puja in their home. And even in southern part of India, they do Saraswati Puja in different time. They are doing, it's the Navaratri time, the 9 days, 9 auspicious days of the Mother Goddess Durga. So last 3 days belong for the Saraswati in the Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And this is the painting from the scroll art of the painting. I went to Kamasan village 2 days before, and I saw the Saraswati and all those paintings. And those paintings are like our Patachitra in Orissa, and in Patachitra of Mednipur also. We are used the natural color. This is the Ajanta painting in that up. This is the natural color which are used for our painting. So there are many artistic expression and few notable the similarities with the Ramayana, Mahabharata and the both culture. So I am not going to specify on that. And I just want to say one more thing, that is the Subak. Here is the Subak is a very important irrigation system in Indonesia. And somehow I got that Subak as like a Bag Devi Saraswati, also the Annapurna of Veda. So the Annapurna is the Lakshmi, or the Anna, who is giving Anna means the food. So she is the deity, she is the goddess of the Annapurna also. So the Saraswati is also the Annapurna. Saraswati is also the goddess of the knowledge, and Saraswati is the goddess of many things. So I want to go very fast, and I want to contribute that Bali do the festival of the Ubud writing festival. And we are also doing many festival of the book, especially the book fair of India is very famous, and that is a blessing of Mother Goddess Saraswati. And this is the last slide, next slide. Okay. Last slide is that I am very proud that 2013 Indonesia gifted Devi Saraswati to Washington DC. So with all those things, I feel very happy and very proud and very blessed to say something about Mother Goddess Saraswati to this august audience. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Yes, thank you. Please give applause to our 3 distinguished panelists. Yes, in Washington, D.C. also saw that Saraswati statue. All right, time is now. Let's move on to give opportunity, a chance to our floor, the audience. 1, 2, over there, please. While you are preparing.
Thank you very much for the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the speech. I would like to ask Mr. Professor Bapak Madibandam, based on the paper that you deliver, that then in performing art is the representation of truth, beauty, and purity. Suppose if we compare between Indian dance and performer into a Balinese dance performance, in India there is a particular book regarding the performance in dance called Natya Sastra. Is there any book in Bali referred to Natya Sastra? In India, we know Natya Sastra. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so I don't have to explain.
Thank you. It is a very nice, important question, actually. Because in India, already there's a book called Natya Sastra, concerns about pure dance, and also dance story, or lakon, and then they have a total theater, a complete then performances, whether they have Ramayana or Mahabharata. So this one cue, and also they have an expression. Unfortunately, I could not show it in my presentation today because of the time. And of course, like expression of Kolbawa, according to Natya Sastra in India, there are 9 different kind of expression. In fact, actually more. But popular one, it is or love, and then Hasya, humor, pathos, Raudra, fury, Vira, valor, Vayanaka, fair, Padbasa, disgust, Buta, wonder, Santa, serenity, peace, and also very peaceful. This kind of expression in Bali more developed into their own aesthetic. So the ice movement in the Balinese dancing more exaggerated. Of course, I have mentioned already that we have that flicking ice movement is far more exaggerated than the Indian that we have seen today. And they are also express some stern, mad, love, and all of those expressions also find in the Balinese dancing, except so the aesthetic is based on local. They develop whatever they need to do, and this is also underline the expression, the story line, yeah, in the performance itself. Okay, so as far as books concerned, there's no big book like Natasrata that we have in Bali, but in the musical aspect, we have two different books concerned with music, but also a bit related to performing arts in Bali. One of the books is called Prakampa. This book, Prakampa, concerns about material aspect of the Balinese gamelan, of course, bronze, membrane, and also many material they use for the gamelan, different form of instrument, including also like our rebab or vina in India, and we have a flutes also, and so on and so on. But this masterpiece called Prakampa Araja Gurnita to accompany different dancing in Bali. Barong dance, Legong dance, Joget dance. And in this case, they have a connection between music and dance, a little bit like Natasatra in India. Unfortunately, someday we can develop our book because this is a good documentation in the future. And we have also books, a smaller book in the Gambuh dance drama known as Paniti Talaning Pegambuh. This is more technical, the idea of the Gambuh with the Panji story, complete structure. And as I mentioned before, there is a meeting scene, there's a departure scene, love scene, sad, on, and full of choreography orientation as a classical Balinese dance. But this is a lot smaller book than Nasa Sastra that we have in India. Thank you.
Yes, a connection with now Rasa. Okay, all right, that's one. Please.
Hello, my name is Felicia. Currently, I'm pursuing my master degree in music psychology. So about the music, I want to ask a simple question, like what is the function of cultural music in everyday life, both in Indians and Balinese? Thank you.
Culture music, probably Professor Divya can mention.
Yeah. I think in terms of cultural music, in Bali, daily life is full of music. So when we talking about cultural music, it's really rooted in our life, and of course it's very useful and important in our dance and dance drama as well as dance theater. But how music is used, that is very much depend on the taste of the Balinese in using that music. For example, here in Bali, we use our music more in the melodic elements. So when we learn a dance, we are not learning the drumming pattern like in India, but we learn the melodic line of the music. So that's build a culture of movement in the mind of the dancer. And only later they adding with rhythm through drums and other percussion. And then in dance drama, if you look at the vocal, the singing, all the song that we have in Bali, it's very much depend on the mood that we are going to portray in the dance drama. For sadness, for happiness, for madness, it's all expressed through music. So that's a very rich kind of cultural tradition on music that we have in Bali, and we have nurtured up to now. Then in terms of the use of ensemble, we also have certain kind of ceremonies where music is used. For example, when you hear the sound of gamelan angklung, for sure this is for funeral. And then when you hear the sound of gamelan gong luang, never thinking about gong luang will be coming with wedding ceremony, because it's just perfect for a funeral. At the same time, when you hear Semar Pugulingan, that's for happiness, and that's for something more kind of wedding ceremony. That's only two examples. There are many more for us to demonstrate the strong cultural elements of our music here in Bali. But the most important thing is that our culture, our music culture in Bali are dynamically changed from time to time without losing its identity, cultural identity. Thank you.
Great music to express feeling, to express intention, to express emotion. That is in music and culture. I mentioned a while ago. Anyone else? Yeah, please.
And the matter of Indian people use music and singing, it is also the part of the Indian life. And I think many of the, especially the eastern part of India, the many home, the students or the kids, they are learning either harmonium and the singing or the sitar, the traditional music instrument, or the many students are try to understand, and they are taking the proper training for the dancing. So the Kathak, I think you used to talk about Pompi. So Kathak and Bharatanatyam and Manipuri, these three are very much popular in India. The kids are learning for that. And you know that the Rabindranath Tagore sung Sangeet, the song. The Indians are more fond of singing. So there are so different type of singing. Many families are used to do every day, and there is a prayer song also. So I think that is the very common cultural heritage of India and Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we still have time?
Yes.
Yes.
We will entertain
next.
more questions.
Yes,
Please, Chair.
Professor Swamba, please.
Thank you. I would like to ask Professor Maribandam. It is very interesting, your explanation on the dance, what's happening in India and also Indonesia. I refer to our traditional in Bali. When we talk about our religions, Hindu religion in Bali, we used to have three kerangka. It is tattva, it is a philosophy, then susila, etika, sila, ethics, and upacara or rituals. Now, when I'm listening your explanation on the existence and roles of arts, both in India, in Indonesia, and involvements of so immersed, so dance in Balinese life, both in secular as well as in religious lives. This is my personal ideas. Can we add one more? It becomes Chatur Kerangka. Not only three, but now Chatur. We have one more that is on Rasa. So we have Tattva, we have Susila, we have Upacara and Rasa. These statements will be justified by the existence of our manuscripts as inherited in Bali. We have manuscripts dealing with Tattva, Tutur, Tattva, and then Sasana, Astra. Then Inik, Peluduk, so many have. And one more that is on Kavya, or related to arts, including to Aji Gurnita and Prakampa. I need your comments. Thank you. Maybe both for Pak Bandam and Pak Dibyo.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bapak Edebago Swamba, who bring us and then making us aware about the functions of the dance in as well as also in Bali. In my, I said, similarities between Balinese and Indian dancing, we share the same value, yeah, same value. This is holy, yeah, Shivam, and then Satyam, truth, and then beauty. He was giving me some comment, underlining through the concepts of the Hindu religion, of course, Tattva, Susila, and Upacara. Upacara is a ceremony where you can find the aesthetic of the Balinese dance in this case. Of course, devotion is very important. Like in India also, they have a dance called Devadasi. And in Bali also, we have a Wali dance for the temple festival, yeah, devotion for the temple festival in that case. Okay, when we do anything in the arts, yeah, because art is a creativity, art is also energy to build it, innovation, but the main thing, aside from the technical aspect, we must master in dance or music itself. Feeling is really very important in this thing. So, you know, love and feeling, like Balinese people today, when you go to the villages, everyone go to the temple because of the devotion concept known as Ngaya. That's what makes really the Balinese arts form is still living and alive this time, because there's a concept known as Ngaya. Everyone go to the temple. If you can dance, you perform for the Wali ceremony example, and then also if you cannot dance, you play music. If you cannot play music, and then you sing. If you don't singing, and also you do chopping the meat, making decoration, and so on. So this is a devotion concept for Balinese, and that you can find the aesthetic concept, how to communicate with your own God. Today, probably the same as in India, there are 3 types of dance form. This has been inscripted by UNESCO on December 2015, that we proposed to UNESCO, inscripted 309 form of Balinese dancing, which is one known as Wali dancing, ritual dancing, temple dancing, very sacred, a trance dancing. One of them, because in Bali when they speak about trance is really a concept of aesthetic, not only in Bali, but it's Southeast Asian concept of aesthetic known as trance. Ecstasy is the real word in this case. So one is called Wali, and you have 3 different dances have been inscripted by UNESCO for the idea of Wali, sacred. Yet that is one is called Sangyang, the trance dancing. We have about 54 about trance dancing in Bali. And then we have Rajang, devoted to the gods, and we have Baris Gede, the warrior dance. This is all type of dancing. Probably it's not really influenced by the Indian tradition yet, but later on, the second category called Babari, a dance drama, a theater in this case. I spoke about the structure of this one, and we take a story of Mahabharata and Ramayana. It's giving us framework of total theater. And the third one, of course, is known as Bali Balihan. This is a presentation as entertainment function in this case. This kind of classification today involving, of course, anything aspect of the Balinese art used by UNESCO as a model to promote, to propose any dancing in the world for a model to give to have an inscripted from UNESCO as world culture heritage in this case. So there are many things we can speak about, but important one is the holy, truth, and then the aesthetic or beauty. And the beauty, of course, feeling is involved in that one. Thank you.
I just want to add a little bit of the response to Professor Peter Baguswamba. I have written a book entitled Panchawi. It's the 5 principles in Balinese dance. It used to be only 3, Viraga, Virama, Virasa, following the concept of Javanese principle. Viraga is about body, Virama is about music, or all of the sense of music, and then Virasa is the feeling. Expression, penjiwaan, or dramatization, and I add 2 more, Wicara and Wibawa. Wicara is like what is the dance telling the audience, including the rule that the dancer must follow. Wibawa is connecting to taksu. Because in Balinese dance, taksu is very important. Even though you can perform good viraga with good virama and good virasa, but if there is no inner beauty, taksu, so the dance will less mesmerizing the audience. So that is why I put there Wibawa, for every dancer must run to get their dancing as Wibawa on stage. Thank you.
Great. So let me not conclusion yet. All right, go ahead, you first, and after you, then I will give conclusion. Go ahead. You can take this one.
Honorable Chair, actually our time is up.
Can you help to bring the microphone over there? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the chance. This is a very, very simple question for my honor speakers. So, as we know, some of the sacral Balinese dance, the dancer can be possessed, right? Kerauhan ceritanya. So, our India also have the traditions like that? Only that questions. Thank you.
Who?
So, yeah, she is asking about the trance. Yeah. No, it is not like a trance dancing, but there is a Devdashi once upon a time in Odisha, the temple dancer. Yeah, so they are known as the Devdashi, but now it is not the every day. It's not happen. So that customs is now it's not going on, but there is a very beautiful dancing style regarding that. So there is not a particular trance dance. But there are some trance dance in the southern part of India, but that is mainly the ritual part. Okay.
Good. Let's continue.
Possess, trance, actually, yeah, kerauhan, if it's called in Bali, there is to do with the concepts of sacred and profane. Sacred and profane. Sacred is not absolute. Sacred can be in context. For the Balinese then, to enable to have a possess or a trance, it has to do with context of the temple festival. Okay, temple festival and a good day, very important day in this case, to make the dance is sacred. The space is very important. The space for trance dancing or possess dancing, this is temple. Temple divided into 3 mandala. One is Utama Mandala, the most sacred space, yeah, because in that place all the shrine and also where the goddess dwell, every Odalan in this case, the most sacred Utama Mandala. So the possess then usually perform in that particular day in a particular space, Utama Mandala. The second will be called Madhya Mandala. Madhya Mandala more for theatrical. Goddess can watch, people can watch at the same time when do any preparation of the ceremony of festival. The third mandala is known as the third mandala, Nista Mandala. Everyone came, everyone come and see all performance because this is more entertainment. When I say context of sacred, yeah, time, okay, sacred, one is important day, sacred space, sacred occasion, where the priest evoking the ceremony with genta and bell, with murmuring of the mantra, and also there's a gamelan, there's a kukul, so makes really everything so sacred. In this case, mudras of the priest is very important to inviting the goddess come down. There are 10 different gods in Balinese cosmos, cardinal, with hand movement, yeah, with expression and music. They invited all the goddess come down to watch the performance, and they making trance. Okay, one more thing. Trance is not enough because we inviting goddess come to get inside of our body through sacred singing. Yeah, sacred singing. And after the sacred singing, also with incense. Yeah, so incense, the inhaling smoke of incense. After a few minutes, then the goddess Bidadari came down and get into you, and you become nadi or disposer. There's long process in this case: sacred singing, sacred space, sacred shrine, sacred mantra, and so on like that. Thank you.
Time is up.
Okay, just one more thing to say. In terms of trance dance, I just want to remind you, nowadays we have dance form where the dancers pretend to trance. So just be careful with that, because they're acting like trance, but actually they're just very happy because they just finished with the job. That's all. But when you go to see touristic performance, they are acting trance. That's also another thing for you to always be aware, not to be confused with the real possessed dancer in any performances. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, you may
Method
conclude.
of acting that Prof. Dibio was mentioning. 1 second. My father's and Dibio's father in 1948 created a performance called Barong and Kris dance. Today for tourists. So many groups in Bali performing this Barong and Kris dance. We cannot make any trance every day, tiring, offerings and everything, inviting the spirit to come in your body. But therefore now, all the dancers having method of acting. Be careful with seeing of that kind.
Thank you. Honorable
Let me
Chair, please
conclude in
conclude.
secret singing.
Yes.
Secret singing in 10 seconds. Okay? Because to accommodate that one, 3 of them. Icanis priya saraning kalengan yatika pasamudayaning rasa wit amangun kalengan ngandalang yoga satyam siwam sundaram. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the session. Please give a big round of applause to our Honorable Chair and also speakers. We invite you to join us for a group photo. We invite you once again to join us for a group photo in front of the table on the stage. Photographers, are we ready? Oh. Very nice. On my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Once again, a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to our Honorable Chair and distinguished speakers. Thank you very much for this very insightful session. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to also extend our appreciation to all partner organizations and sponsors who help us make these events becomes more lively. Makais, ISCS, Dwi Jendra University, Udayana University, Bali State Polytechnic, Haribol, Bank of India Indonesia, Toraja Melo, RRI, Radio Republik Indonesia, Arma Museum, Bali Fax, Kamajaya Art Studio, Yayasan Aksara Sastra Adiatmika, and Sanggar Seni Ramayana Saraswati. Once again, we would like to remind you that we will have a special lucky draw. So for those of you who have actually submitted your name in a piece of paper, we'll wait later for the session. And those of you who haven't, we still have time. So you're welcome to write your name in a piece of paper and submit it in our bowl here next to the MC desk. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next agenda is valedictory session, reflections on shared heritage and future collaborations. We will invite other distinguished participants from Wantilantu Hall to join us back here in this main hall, and then we will proceed to our next agenda, valedictory session, reflections on shared heritage and future collaborations. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we invite participants from Wantilantu Hall to join us back here in this main hall, and we will proceed to the next agenda, valedictory session, reflections on shared heritage and future collaborations. Thank you very much for joining us back in this main hall. Ladies and gentlemen, our next agenda is valedictory session, reflection on shared heritage and future collaborations. May I invite the chair for the session, Consul General of India to Bali, Dr. Shashank Vikram. We would like also to invite Ambassador His Excellency Sri Sandeep Chakravorty to join us on the stage. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our ambassador. We would like also to invite a representative from Indonesia, Professor Nyoman Sedana, Senior Professor Isi Denpasar and founder of Kamajaya Art Studio, as well as representative from India, Dr. Selva Kumar, Head and Faculty Member in the Department of Maritime History and Marine Archaeology, Tamil University, Tanjavur. We invite Sri Arindam Mukherjee to join us as well on the stage. We would like to invite Honorable Chair to moderate the session. The floor is yours.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I'm sure everyone will agree that today we had very interesting and enthralling set of discussions, not even in Hall 1, but in Hall 2 also. And as somebody who is not only the, who has been given the responsibility to be the coordinator of this session, but also someone who played a role in organizing this, we were very worried about two things. One was that we have two halls. How will we have people in two halls? And I must say we had to add chairs in the other hall too. So that tells about the success of the conference. And the second thing which I was also very worried that when you give such good lunch, people tend to either sleep or slip away in the second part, which did not happen. So thank you so much, and please give a round of applause to yourself for being such a wonderful audience. And as the day started, you know, and Professor Selva Kumar was speaking, so one thing which struck me that he said that trade routes are like veins of our body which connect culture. So as somebody, you know, who is not from the art background, but from medical background, that vein analogy stuck with me. So maybe I can start with you, Professor, about your reflections of the proceedings of the day, and how do you think we can take this forward?
Om Swasti Astu and Namaskar. We have had a very interesting and fruitful discussion right from the morning. Normally it is said small is very beautiful. So normally we attend conferences which are extended for 2 or 3 days. But in this just one day conference, we could see whole range of connectivity from tangible and intangible connectivity between India and Indonesia. It has been really wonderful. And we have looked into so many possible ways where we can take this forward. So I'll briefly summarize the papers that have been presented today. We had several sessions. Plenary session 1, Waves of Exchange Exploring Ancient Maritime Trade Routes in the Indian Ocean, was chaired by Arindam Mukherjee, Director of ISCS. We had 3 presentations here. The first presentation by Gede Sutaraya highlighted the historical background, Hindu Buddhist traditions and the areas of common history and heritage, and especially the Panchshila ideals that became very common for India and Indonesia. My own presentation focused on the settlements and material culture across the trade routes, how these trade routes connected. They were not just trade routes, they were lifelines connecting cultures. See, cultures cannot survive if they do not have new ideas, new kind of goods and technology coming up. You know, this has been happening right from the history. You know about Chinese pilgrims who came to India collecting Buddhist texts. Why these people are traveling abroad? Because they need new knowledge. Today we have artificial intelligence, we have Indians visiting many US for higher education. So we had a kind of situation where people were visiting India in the ancient period, seeking knowledge, seeking very valuable treasures from Indic knowledge system. So these trade routes were very important. We had another important paper by Nindya, who spoke on this wood steel. Technology is one interesting area where we need to undertake more research. Technology transfer has been happening right from the prehistoric times. Even the early communities, they have been borrowing technologies, improvising it, improving it. Not only technology related to medicine. Some of the ideas and the uses of the plants, and they have been learned and they have moved from place to place. We have evidence of pepper coming from Egyptian mummy in 1213 BCE. And then we have cinnamaldehyde occurring in Israel that some scholars say might have traveled from Southeast Asia. We have lot of evidence coming up for this technology and idea transfer. He also highlighted the similarity in rituals, Sastra Puja of Indonesia and Ayudha Puja of India. The next session was chaired by Naveen Megwal. This was titled Language, Literature, Comparative Analysis of Linguistics, Literary Traditions. And we had several papers in this session. The paper by Ni Lu Sujji Berata, it focused on linguistic influences on Old Balinese. Sanskrit and Old Javanese, both they have influenced the Old Balinese languages. That is the conclusion she has come up with, and she says that influence could be traced back to 9th century. Then Dr. Sugi Lanu spoke about Rishi Agastya tradition in Bali. He also speaks about the manuscripts of Agastya Parva and the 15th century Tangatu Paglayaran manuscripts. Actually, the Agastya's tradition has been very strong in South India. Also, they say that Agastya moved from northern India to southern India, and that story is very strong. And the same story is also there in many parts of Southeast Asia. This is one important tradition. This also shows how we have had a common tradition, even in mythology, technology, script. If you look at all the aspects of heritage and culture, you see a lot of similarities across the board, which many of us, even sometimes scholars, do not realize the diversity of connectivity, the diversity of interactions. Textile, you take everything, there have been ideas borrowed here and there. We cannot say from where sometimes the ideas were generated and moved, but when you look at things where things have been very similar. And Dr. Gautam Kumar Jha traced the Indic knowledge system. This is very important concept, mainly the knowledge system. That is how we try to view the knowledge nowadays. This knowledge system not only includes knowledge, it also includes everything for all our ways of life. And I have written a detailed note. Maybe we will publish it somewhere as part of the proceeding later. So in the past 4-5 hours, we have had a complete range of discussion highlighting the diversity of cultural heritage both in India and Indonesia, and we need to work together to exchange this, to take this forward. We need to have some kind of people-to-people connectivity and interaction among the students. In fact, collaborative projects among the Indian universities and Indonesian universities. Only such kind of sustained efforts will take this forward. Actually, we have a lot of evidence right from the time of Nalanda University, people traveling and studying across the countries in Asia. So I think, by ending this seminar, we should not think that everything is over. It is just a ritual. We should take this forward, and to take this effort forward, we don't need much funding, or we don't need always some kind of external support. If we ourselves develop academic interest or interest in any of the activities, we can organize in whatever way in our own university about such connectivity. So with this point, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that beautifully encapsulates the proceedings of the day. And since we have captured it now, so I would like to request our ambassador to tell us, give us more guidance about about the proceedings of the day and the way forward as far as this interconnection is concerned.
Thank you, Dr. Shashank Vikram, Consul General. When I thought of attending this conference, my idea was to only attend the inaugural session and then the valedictory session, and in between disappear and spend time on the beach. But I could not do that. I have been throughout the day here. My problem was that there were parallel sessions, and I still have not developed a schizophrenic personality to be present in both the parallel sessions together. So I missed some of the sessions, but Dr. Selva Kumar has very nicely summarized the sessions I have missed. I will first try to just give for the audience who missed the parallel sessions a little bit of summary of what was discussed in the other sessions. But before I do that, I must say that I took the liberty of inviting 3 speakers who were not directly related to the topic, in the sense that they are not academicians or they are not cultural entrepreneurs or cultural activists. But I must say that all 3 of them performed brilliantly, and their presentations were very good and well appreciated. Dr. Eka Banerjee, she is here. She spoke on language, literature, rituals and symbols. So she is not into this line at all, but when she heard about culture and Bali, she got onto a plane and she came here on her own, and she did very well. Then we have Mr. Yachnit Pushkarna, who spoke about food and cuisine. And I used to think that Indonesia and India are 2 bodies with 1 heart. But he proved that Indonesia and India are 2 bodies with 1 stomach. So I think that is a quotable quote of this conference. And he really put forward how we have similar dietary habits. And I think Dr. Sanjukta, is she here? She was also able to add to it by bringing our cultural and our culinary traditions and the emphasis that both Indonesia and coastal India have on fish. So machli and ikan are culinary traditions of both Indonesia and India. Then in another parallel session we heard Aparna Bhatia, Aparna Saxena, she is right there. I think she was quite majestic in her presentation. I really enjoyed her presentation. She spoke about the weaves of Indonesia and India, the highlands, and how they are similar. And I think that the connection between the highlands of India and Indonesia in the weaves was paralleled by Frankie's presentation on music, how we have similar music. And it's important to always not highlight the Hindu connection between Indonesia and India. There are other connections, and I think Dr. Mishra put forward that there is a strong Islamic connection between Indonesia and India, and also there is a highland connection. People, the tribal communities of Indonesia and India, they have similar cultural moorings, and I think it's important to. So, but I'm happy that we were able to bring that together. So it has become an interesting, what should I say, tapestry of various streams. I would end by referring to Rishi, and he said that today we talk of so much of inter-exchange between Indonesia and India and Bali particularly, but the people who are coming to Bali, they are only spending time in Canggu and Seminyak and Nusa Dua. They are not aware of the cultural traditions of Bali. They are not aware of the history and what has gone into being what is Bali today. And I think he spoke about exchanges between Pandits and Rishis and people who are in this profession. I think it was very well reciprocated by Maharaji from Ramakrishna Mission. So I think some leads we already got, and if you're able to work on it, and I agree with Professor Selva Kumar that this cannot be a one-off conference. We should have follow-up conferences, and I request Mr. Mukherjee that the proceedings of this conference should be shared very quickly, and he should come with an outcome document. And before ending, I just want to thank you, Consul General, for putting this together. I think he deserves a round of applause for being working very hard, and what I liked about the conference is the artwork that you can see here is all the consulate team's idea. They have put this together, and I think this could easily go on the cover of the book or the proceedings that you would like to put together. I also want all of you to visit the exhibition that is there, particularly the one on Tagore. Many things. Actually, Mr. Mukherjee has dug these out from intelligence files. They were the British intelligence reported on Tagore visiting Indonesia, and he went into the archives and got that out. So very interesting material we have put together. Thank you for that. And once again, thanks to all the delegates for joining us. And I think by the presence of all of you throughout the day, I think it shows that people have interest in the topic, and we are for a change right in organizing such a conference. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ambassador, for your encouraging word and also for giving us more work. So thank you for that. We will try to live up to that. And I think in the last session we were having Professor Dibya was, he spoke about, there was a question about dancers who are possessed. And he said many a times they are not possessed, but they act like that. But I'm sure audience here is actually here and it's actually possessed, because I did not see many sleepy heads today. So it's very invigorating, and I'm sure as we go forward, as Rishiji says, there will be more people will be visiting Indonesia and Bali in particular and exploring the cultural and the spiritual aspect of it. With that, I would like to request Professor Siddham for his words.
Thank you for this opportunity. Since this meeting binding two big nations, even though one heart big nation, but we should not miss any information or understanding each other. If two big nations, I don't want two big nations become two big animals being instigated by small animals to make the two big animals fighting each other. Yes, and then two big, say for example, the big animals like a tiger, and instigated to fight with a water buffalo. And just because of small puppies, for example, small puppies go to the water buffalo. Hey, water buffalo, the tiger will attack you. Look, he is going to surfing his nail will going to attack you. And then the small animal go to the tiger. Hey, tiger, look, the buffalo surfing his horns, going to gore you, to attack you. So until then, these two big animals will be fighting together due to lack communication, lack the seminar, lack the conference, and possible two big countries will be fighting together. Therefore, we have to avoid misunderstanding. We have to share our perspective. More frequently, we need a seminar and conference like this, at least like once a year, I think. Otherwise, we will be become a big animal. You understand that two big animals that can fight together, and then two big animals fight together and kill themselves together, while the winner is the small puppies like that one. So that's my, I would like to give that suggestions. Yes, so don't be a big animal to fight together and kill ourselves to win the small animal. Thank you very much. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Thank you so much. I'm sure, we all are social animals because we are human beings and we will socially interact more and more. With these, may I request Arindam Ji for his.
Thank you very much. His Excellency Shundit Chakraborty, Shashank Ji and other guests. it's a concluding session. Last 2 months we are working a lot. It was really a nice group work, I say. We are connected through WhatsApp, through phones. We are from Kolkata and the consulate is here at Bali. But there was no gap, no lacking, due to only our Honorable Consul General, I must say. He is an able leader and very hard-working leader, I must say. And also, Dila and other staffs, they worked very hard. They worked a lot. And also, our speakers, participants, everybody worked hard. And they are very much interested to participate in this conference. They attended. I am very much grateful to Professor Swarup Prasad Ghosh. I am also Vice Chairman of Macayes and he is Director of Macayes. Professor Sashibala, she is with us. She is also member of Macayes. So we all worked a lot. We worked hard and tried to make this conference success. It's up to you. You will tell us how much we successful. Most probably we tried our level best. In future, definitely we will work together and we will produce better than this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And before I bring to the close, I need to thank our partners. So I would like to thank the partner organizations and sponsors who help us make this event more lively. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Asian Studies, Macayes, of which Professor Ghosh is there, and Institute of Social and Cultural Studies, ISCS, Arindam ji is there, Institute of Dwijendra University, Udayana University, Bali State Polytechnic, Haribol, Bank of India, Indonesia, Toraja Melo, RRI Radio Republic, Indonesia, Arma Museum, Balifex, Kamajaya Art Studio, Yayasan, Aksara, Sastra, Adhyatmika, and Sangar Seni Ramayana Saraswati. So thank you everyone. And in the last, I would like to, because Arindam just spoke about the consulate, so I think I would like to take few names and I would ask you to stand up wherever you are. Ardila, please stand up. Good. Vulan, please stand up. Seni, is she there? So most of the, the Seni is the person who designed this backdrop. And the logo which you see was designed by Vulan, and none of them do it professionally. And the entire conference, including the curation of exhibition, the various technical sessions which you had for 3 months, because we were busy in President visit, the girl who was working single-handedly was Adila. So, and I must also thank Naveen, if you are here. So Naveen for curating, all the cultural aspect of it, also by bringing together the exhibition. And thank you to you and SBCC Bali for being with us and for helping in this. So thank you so much. And now I hand over to MC for the proceedings.
Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to all of us. Thank you. We'll invite 5 of you on the stage to take a group photo. After this, ladies and gentlemen, we will hand and present certificates and gifts to all our esteemed speakers. On my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. You may return to your seat. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite chairs and esteemed speakers to join us on the stage to receive certificates and gifts. May I invite the chair and speakers, Plenary Session 1, Parallel Session 1A and 1B, Sri Arinda Mukherjee to join us on the stage, Dr. Igede Sutarya to join us on the stage, Dr. Selva Kumar, Professor Dr. Chokorda Gede Tirta Nindya, Next, we would like to invite Mr. Naveen Megwal, Professor Dr. Nilo Suciati Brata, Mr. Sugilanus, Dr. Gautam Kumarja, and Ms. Eka Chatovedi Banerjee to join us on the stage to receive certificate as a token of appreciation. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Anita Bose, Sri Babul Day, Mr. Yasnit Puskarna, Ms. Sanjukta Chowdhury, and Mr. Agung Rai to join us on the stage. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite chair and speakers from Plenary Session 2, Parallel Session 2A and 2B, Dr. Saru Prasad Ghosh, Dr. Madesri Putri Purnamawati, Dr. Iketo Donder, Professor Dr. Sashibala, and Professor Ida Bagus Putuswamba to join us on the stage. May I invite for the next one, Professor Nyoman Sedana, Professor Dr. Imade Bandem, Professor Iwayan Dibia to join us on the stage. Next, may I invite Professor Dr. Gede Sedana, Aparna Bhatnagar Saksena, Frankie Raden, PhD, Mr. Satish Misra, Swami Sastra, Jnananda Maharaj to join us on the stage. After this session, we would like to invite exhibitors to the stage to receive certificate. May I next invite representative from Haribol, Toraja Melo, Arma Museum, Balifax, Kamajaya Art Studio, Yayasan Aksara Sastra Adiatmika, Sanggar Seni Ramayana Saraswati, and ISCS to join us on the stage. Once again, may I invite the exhibitors? All completed. Thank you very much. May I invite representative from Yayasan Aksara Sastra Adiatmika to join us on the stage? Thank you very much. Applause for everyone. Thank you so much for your active participation and contribution to this international conference.
There is a bag on the stage. I mean, one of the speakers, please see.
Now it's time for the lucky draw. May I invite CEO of Haribol to, and also Ambassador Sri Sandeep Chakravorty to join us. We will play a video. Yeah. Would you like to say something first?
So, like I said, in honor of His Excellency Shri Sandeep Chakravarty ji, we would like to give a draw now for our Indonesian brothers and sisters. A 3 days, 2 nights stay at Govardhan Eco Village. You'll be picked up from the airport and brought back. There'll be a short video about what Govardhan Eco Village is. It also resonates the cultural bridge between India and Indonesia. If we can please have the video.
Govardhan Eco Village has been striving to provide a prototype for natural, holistic, compassionate living.
We are trying to help people experience harmony by bringing together the body, mind, and soul.
It's mind-blowing, the level of activism that's going on here.
It's easy to charge the battery here. It feels like it's always charged.
It's like this oasis in the middle of rural India.
The foundational principles of the Govardhan Eco Village are coming from the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
He inspired us to create communities based on the principles of simple living and high thinking. And in that seva, or in that service, we created this community, the Govardhan Eco Village.
It's beautiful here. It's beautiful because they work with the land, they work with the community. They really are a model of sustainable and eco-friendly living.
The very word sustainability, its origin is in the word sattva, which means goodness. Something which comes when we are closely in sync with the environment, when we are closely in harmony with the environment, both external and internal.
The infrastructure here is green, so the buildings, they are made with earth blocks. The buildings are beautiful and comfortable and large, and many people don't even notice that they are green.
We have the largest rainwater harvesting tank in this whole district, where we have 10 million liters of water.
We depend on solar power and biogas plants.
Wet waste becomes compost, plastic becomes oil through the pyrolysis.
Can we, as human beings, live in harmony with the earth? Here's a place that's experimenting with that.
Compassion and living in harmony with each other and with nature, it's what people want. It's who people are.
The mission of GEV is heart transformation.
Sustainability is just part of it, but it's a lot more about changing inside.
Transforming people's hearts, bringing them closer to harmony by connecting them with ancient wisdom with modern application.
Many people who come here, they're reminded of what really is meaningful in their lives.
Radha Swami is trying to make positive changes in the world.
Here, there's this big feeling of gratitude in GV in general. Everybody's so grateful for all of this. The idea is to just share with more and more people.
We are inspiring the people to experience harmony here, so that their personal quality of life, the quality of their interaction with other human beings, and the quality of their interactions with nature becomes more fulfilling, satisfying, complete, harmonious. This would mean that the world would experience a population which is in sync with each other.
And we at Govardhan Eco Village have been striving to try to live by these principles and striving to provide alternatives for people to see and experience that we could truly live in a spirit of compassion in this world.
Thank you. I have a small confession. We've already invited Ida Rasi to come and spend 3 days when he's in India. So it's one cheat. He, before the draw, took it himself.
But that is additional, 3 will still remain. You can't change that. So one clarification, this is only for Indonesian friends. So if some Indian name comes out, we will again draw. Gede Sedana, Gede Sedana. Where is he? He's not here? Huh? Gede Sedana. He's gone. If he's not here, then he's not qualified. We'll draw again.
Another one. Bad luck, he left to sleep. I mean.
Kadek Jemi Wachiko, PhD. Hey, who's that? Who's that? Oh, there he is. Please. Make care. Thank you. This is your paper. Just sign it and okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Give me opportunity go to India again. Actually, I'm PhD in India. I got scholarship from ICCR. Thank you, ICCR, Government of India. And I hope I got a great experience there and improving my spiritual path also. Big respect and namaste. Jai Hind.
NGH Sudiartha. NGH Sudiartha. Sudiartha. Hey. What happened? NGH Sudiartha. That's not you? No. Okay, Sudiartha is not here. E Kamang Patana Putra. E Kamang Patana Putra. Pratama Putra. Yeah? नहीं है है ही नहीं ना वो दे देंगे बाद में Imade Oka Dutapayana. Imade Oka Dutapayana. Not here. Nyoman Dini Andiani. Yay! You just connect with him after this. Thank you. So one more to go. Rosvita Flaviani Osin, Indonesia loves India. Who's that? Oh. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. There is another gift box, so we will have another draw, and whosoever wins will get that gift from Haribol. Ambassador Sandeep Chakravarti. No. It is Intan Maulina. Intan Maulina. She here? Intan Maulina. Is she here? No. Dr. Shashank Vikram. No, Gede Sutyarva. Gede Sutyarva. Oh, there he is.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all the lucky person. Once again, let's give a big round of applause to all of us here. Thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes all the agenda for the India-Indonesia Cultural Conference IICC 2024. I'm Agung Mia, as the Master of Ceremony, on behalf of the organizing committee, would like to extend our appreciation to all of you for your enthusiasm starting from our event this morning until we reach the conclusion part. Thank you very much for your active participation and all your contribution. I hope to see you again in other fruitful and engaging discussion in the future. Thank you very much. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om. We will have a group photo with all participants. So before all of you leave the place, we would like to invite you to join us for a group photo. So all participants, we invite you to join us for a group photo together. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you to please put the interpreter device on the table and do not bring the device home. Thank you. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, mohon alat bantu interpreternya diletakkan kembali di atas meja dan mohon untuk tidak dibawa pulang. Terima kasih. We invite all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to join us to have a group photo session with all participants.